Well, this mic definitely sounds better. And of course, the picture's just about, is actually, I think, HD. Still, with all this equipment I got here on my Pro Tools system, I still think that little camera, that little $200 camera and microphone set up from Zoom is in general as good as this. And the other problem with this is it won't record in mono, and that's a problem I've had with Pro Tools. Anyway, let me get back to see where was I. Um, we were on our way back to Virginia, back to Fairfax County, Annandale, Virginia. I went to from New York. This is one, two. This is my third high school, and I went to W.T. Woodson High School in Virginia for that little section. And now I'm in the 10th grade. This is the first time that I actually got into a band. I was so excited. I got a Fender twin reverb and a little Shure microphone that was one of those flat microphones, and I think between the guys in my band, which we had a drummer, Lester D. Hutchinson, who was just a real country boy, Virginia country boy, and then the other two, the one guy's name was Kurt Rector, I believe, and the other guy's name was Jack. Can't remember his last name, but both of them were Mormons. And actually, after we rehearsed for a few months, our band got pretty good. We ended up getting a couple of paid gigs, and so still no Shrunken Heads though. It was there. I mentioned naming the band actually, Shrunken Heads. That didn't happen. I forget what the name of our band was. The very first band I was ever in. And the very first gig I ever had was at Fairfax High School sock hop. I don't know how much money we made, but the fact that we made any money and a bunch of people were there and we actually played songs that people danced to. I remember one of the songs that we rehearsed was Mona, which I'm pretty sure is a Bo Diddley song or a Muddy Waters song, but we were doing the Rolling Stones had come out by then. The first introducing the Rolling Stones, and the Beatles had probably they'd been out for about a year or so, so they had already had I Want to Hold Your Hand, and they hadn't put out one of their big time albums yet, though. I mean, this is before, Rubber Soul. Rubber Soul was really a thing. Anyway, so we did. So I start playing. I'm in bands now. I've actually made money, so I'm hooked. I don't think it was much money. I probably made like $15 or something, and but that was it for me. I was good to go. We didn't even have a PA system. We just had a couple of big amps. We had a Titan amp that Kurt had, and then I had my little Fender Twin, and we put mics and guitars in, and then the other Mormon kid played bass, and he played out of the same amp as Kurt played, and Kurt played guitar, and Kurt was pretty good at guitar and a pretty good singer, and I could sing a little bit, and I could play the guitar a little bit. So, but that was the impetus for me to start practicing. I started practicing quite a bit. I still had my very first guitar, which was a Guild Starfire. Why I ever would have got rid of that guitar is beyond me. It was. I made the mistake of looking it up online. You know, they only made in total throughout history about 800 of them. And that year, they only made about 80 of them worldwide. So I looked up that guitar, and it was some ridiculous, $50,000, $60,000 or something like that. Of course, I'm sure all the musicians that I know could go back in time and they would go just kick themselves. The amps, my twin would be worth a couple of grand now probably. But that's just the way it goes. So I'm in Virginia. There's still no Shrunken heads. I'm still searching for a Shrunken head. And we weren't in Virginia that long. We left, and we left in the 11th grade, and I was in the 11th grade, and we started heading on back to California. This time we were going up to Northern California. This is where we head to the little town of Saratoga. And I guess I'm just going to leave it there because Saratoga, a whole lot of stuff happened. That might be kind of a longer video, and I might have to even break that up because, with several bands, I lived there for a lot of years, and a lot happened. And anyway, I will catch everybody later on. By the way, again, I'm still working on that, getting the sound of all these things right. I mean, this machine here, I'm getting it better, but I don't think it's quite where I want it to be. And my little machine, my little laptop running Linux, that works fine. I'm probably go back to doing videos on it once I make sure I can do videos on all my machines. I'm still waiting on my third machine, my Linux Ardor, all of that. I've been working on it, but it's still not ready to roll. And I don't want to talk about that yet. That'll be a whole nother separate video. So anyway, adios from my Pro Tools computer. And next stop is going to be the little town of Saratoga, California. All right. Buenas noches.